Hey, my name is James Nicholson. I hope you guys are well. This video, I want to talk about what property investing strategies work in today's market. You see, I read and I answer every single comment on this channel, and I see that a lot of people have the strategy that is just to wait for the market to crash. Then they're going to come in and buy all the properties. But why wait? Because there are some very good strategies that will work in any market, an up market or a down market. So I want to cover those in this video and the ones that you should avoid, because that's important too. So while you're here, before we jump into this video, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the bell notification if you haven't done already. We're going to hit 10,000 subscribers this year. And if you could do me a bigger favor, smash that like button over there, guys. Go on, smash it right now. We might hit 1 million views this month. Total views for the whole channel, which is absolutely crazy since we started. Of that, we might hit 200,000 just this month, which is bonkers. So let's talk about the ones to avoid first. I'm going to use a different color pen for once. Let's see how this works out. Red for avoid. Hopefully this pen works. What should you avoid at the moment? Well, I think that you should avoid flips. So what do I mean by flips? Well, a flip is where you buy a property that needs some work doing to it, a renovation of sorts, but your goal at the end of the project is to sell that property. Now, the reason I think that's a little bit risky in the market is because the prices are fluctuating at the moment, and also interest rates are fluctuating at the moment. What you might do with a flip is buy on something called a bridging loan. And if you can't sell the property, you might have to go onto a mortgage. That's fine, but you might then have big fees or a higher interest rate that you didn't bank on. And so it can be difficult to get a property and sell it in your desired timeline in this current market. So I think flips is one that you maybe should hold off doing for now. Next is buying new builds. I never like new builds. And that's because new builds are like a new car. You buy a new car, 20% gets lopped off it straight away as soon as you put 1 mile on it. Doesn't really fill me with much confidence. New builds, you don't lose 20%, but it's quite easy to lose 10% in the first year. You're the first person in there, and so you pay a premium for that. And so new builds are a little risky in that guys, because look, let's just say the market goes down 30% or 10%, and you've lost another 10%. That's going to compound that loss for you significantly. Also with a new build, as an investor, I like to buy something that I can add value to. You can't add value to a new build. It's already done. Everything's done for you out the box. So I don't see those as a very, very good investment. And next, which I have and do, but buy-to-lets in the south of the UK. I just feel the numbers are really tough. You can get good deals, but you need to really look hard for these. And what I'm talking about is a vanilla buy-to-let where you're not adding any value. So it's already done. Someone's done the work. You're taking on a property, could be an older property, it's already renovated, and then you are going to rent that out to someone on a monthly basis. That is tough in the south. You probably in this market will need to put more than 25% deposit in there in order for that deal to stack up. So what does work? Well, these are the strategies that I feel you should be looking at in this market. So number one is serviced accommodation. Serviced accommodation, that is where you have a property, either you own it or you rent it from somebody, and then you rent it out as serviced accommodation, short-term stays. Now, I've got friends that I've been helping and mentoring on this stuff, and I would avoid the holiday destinations on this type of strategy. They can be very good, but if it doesn't work for you in that holiday season, then you get to the quiet season, the winter months, you can be stuffed and lose money. So that can be tough, and those places are oversaturated. Also, you're not very welcome in those areas. If you go to Cornwall and get a second home, not many people like you in that area, trust me. So what you might want to look at is look at cities or big towns, excluding London, where you can rent that service accommodation to people that are working. Maybe they're there short term, or they're looking to renovate their house, so they want to get out of it for a period of time, or insurance companies that need to rehouse someone. There's tons of different categories of people that will take short-term accommodation. And service accommodation is very, very good strategy. It's high cash flow, and if you get it right, you could easily make £1,000 profit per property per month. So that's one strategy I would look at. There's videos on the channel that you can find out all about that strategy if you want to know more about it. Next is rent to rent. And so that's where you're going to rent a property and you're going to rent it out. Now, these deals are harder to come by than they were 6 months ago, a year ago. With rising rents and shortage of property, they are still around, as with any deals, but you're going to have to look harder to get these deals. That's important to understand. Now, what would you do with this? You would rent out a property, maybe a 3-bedroom house, and then make it into an HMO, a house of multiple occupancy, where you rent it out on a room by room basis. Or you rent it from somebody and then you rent it out as serviced accommodation. These strategies are good. Probably not so great in London, but look at areas where you can rent it and then you can achieve an uplift. You have to let the landlord know what you're doing. That's important. The landlord's benefit to them is that they're going to get guaranteed rent, and also you take on the maintenance and stuff like that as well. So that's a good strategy. We've got videos on the channel about that one as well, if you want to have a look at that. Next is HMOs. And so this is where you maybe own the property this time and you rent it out as a house of multiple occupancy. Rather than renting out as one big unit, you rent out on a room by room basis. This strategy works very, very well because people in this market are struggling to find places to rent. They can't afford the properties for various reasons. And so an HMO is a great strategy. And this will give you high cash flow. You have to pay for things like the bills, the council tax and this kind of stuff. You have to be licensed in certain towns as well. So you need to go and find out all that information. But it is a strategy that will work in this market because it gives you high cash flow. That's very, very important. Next is buy to let, but in the north. Oh, not north. Sorry about that. North, that says. So in the north of England, the buy-to-let still stacks up, even with the higher interest rates at the moment. And a lot of people have got worries about waiting for the market and timing the market. Look, if you can put your money into a deal today, you can buy it right, and you can maybe add a little value to that property. But look, even if you can't do that and it just kicks you out a nice little rent, makes you 300, 400 quid profit each month, then that still works up north. Because rents are relatively high compared to house prices. Very different story down south. If I was investing up north, which I do, I would advise to buy houses as opposed to flats. You all can afford, well, not everyone, but you're more likely to be able to afford one of those in that area. So buy-to-let works, but look at the northern towns. If you want to know a town that I know works, Doncaster is a great town to start with. What else have we got? The BRRR. This is my favourite strategy now. And so this is where you buy a property, you refurbish, you refinance and rent. You're going to see some videos of some deals soon that I'm doing. It's been a lag with getting those done, completions and stuff like that. So we've got a deal going through. It will be a buy-to-let, but we're renovating it first. So I'll show you what we're doing to add value. That's the only reason I would buy down south. We're buying a property, needs a new kitchen, a new bathroom, new carpets, decorating. Simple little refurbishment. We're getting it below market value because they want a quick sale. It's not so quick now because they've got probate to go through, but these things are going through and then we'll be able to add value to that property. So buy, refurbish, refinance, rent is a few examples. Other examples, I bought a studio flat in Dorking, turned that into a 1-bedroom flat. I bought a 1-bedroom flat, I've turned that into a 2-bedroom flat. These are the sorts of things that we've done. We've taken a rundown house in Hastings and turned it into a revamped family house in Hastings. We took a revamped house in Doncaster, renovated it and turned that into a nice property up north as well. So that's a great strategy. You can get your money back out of the deal and go on the next one. It works very well, even in today's market. And one of the other ones that is difficult to find in normal times, and they're called lease options. Lease options is where you agree a price. So there's loads of people right now that maybe bought last year, right? They bought last year, they put in a 10% deposit. The market's already down 6%. It's definitely going to go down more than 10% in the long run. So they're going to potentially be in negative equity very, very soon. They might need to sell. Some of them, not all of them, most won't, but some will need to sell for various reasons. And so with those people, you can say, well, look, you need to sell this for 90, but the market value today is 85. So I can't pay you 90 because it's only worth 85. But I can pay you 90 in the future. So you can agree terms. You can say, well, here's £1 to make this deal a legal contract, and I'll agree to buy it for you for £90,000, but I need time for the market to recover. So I'll buy it in 7 years or 5 years or 2 years, whatever you agree between you. In this market, I would say at least 5 years plus, just to be confident that that's going to go up. And then in that time, you might pay their mortgage for them. Or if they're mortgage free, you might pay them a fee each month just to keep that property as kind of like the equivalent of a mortgage payment or the rent. You then rent that property out yourself. If there's any way to add value to that property, new kitchen, new bathroom, new bedrooms, these sorts of things, you get that done. So then the value's going up and you can complete that option and get that deal done very quickly. Lease options are a great strategy, and in this kind of market they are an absolute winner. So these are some strategies that work in this market: service accommodation, rent to rent, HMOs, buy to let up north, but BRRR strategy, and lease options all over the country. This is a great time to start looking to buy properties now. The market isn't bottoming out for sure, but it will at some point next year. Could be the beginning or the end of next year. No one knows for sure. We don't have a crystal ball. So learn these strategies now so you can get some investments when you're ready. That's it from me. Let me know any questions or comments below. Smash the like button, guys. Let's get this 1 million views as quick as we can. Do subscribe and hit the bell. And go and check out this video right here.